Bear Down Bears fans, question on the table today. Will the Chicago Bears have no choice if they do run this back than to bring back Luke Getsy? Let's talk about all that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Let's go. Now, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Bears, our Bears fans talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. So the Bears have a interesting dilemma if they were to bring back Matt Eberflus, as reported earlier by Ian Rappaport. We have a video on the channel on that, so check that out as well. Because now you're talking about moving forward and what is this offense going to look like? And you're kind of in a very, very tough situation because if you move on from Luke Getsy, what is the long term of Matt Eberflus? That is a very big question that is in play here in Chicago, because I feel like, as we talked about yesterday, this has been somewhat of a successful season, but this is not what the pinnacle of success has to be for this team. You need to keep going up. You need to keep winning. You need to be in the playoffs going into next season. So is there a little bit of a hot seat scenario as you go into next year with Matt Eberflus saying, yeah, he's continued to get better, but if he kind of comes out and gives you another 7 to 8 win season, that is not good enough. Of course, the questions on the quarterback position still remain. Is Ryan Poles going to stick with Justin Fields, or is he going to go with Caleb Williams? I feel like we're trending towards Justin Fields sticking around, but you never know, right? Maybe Ryan Poles looked at that Atlanta game and said, you know what? Get that draft stock or that trade stock all the way up, and then we'll move on from you and we'll draft the quarterback #1 overall. It's going to be very interesting kind of to see what the Bears are going to do in this situation. But I think at the end of the day, I've said this many times, I'm not a fan of Luke Getsy. I don't like how he calls plays. I don't like how he uses the screen game instead of slants. I don't like how conservative he is at times. I think that this game versus the Atlanta Falcons is the most aggressive that we've seen Luke Getsy be this season consistently throughout the game, right? Because we've seen those second half lulls where he just doesn't throw the football, just doesn't put the ball in the air, just doesn't try to keep going down the field and scoring points. This game versus Atlanta, he finally did that, but it takes too long for us to get there. So in my opinion, I would move on from Luke Getsy. What makes that very, very difficult, though, is the fact that is an offensive coordinator going to come in here and try and tie himself to Luke Getsy, or I'm sorry, to Matt Eberflus, if he feels like this is kind of a hot seat situation? Are you going to be able to go out there and get a guy? Of course, you're going to be able to hire guys, right? But are you going to be able to go out there and get a guy who's going to be able to step in, teach a system quickly, get the best out of the quarterback, whoever the quarterback is that's in there, and you continue to build with that guy and that OC? I don't know if that's going to be the case, and I don't know, not to say that Matt Eberflus is on this incredibly hot seat heading into next season, but I think that right there is this mindset of, if I draft the quarterback #1 overall, or I keep Justin Fields, you have to come in here and make this work right away. You have to come in here and figure this out the second that you get here, because offensively, we need to see productivity. I've got DJ Moore already. I've paid Cole Kmet. I'm adding to the offensive line. No matter who the quarterback is, there needs to be offensive productivity. And so I think that it's as tough as it is for me to say, right? It feels like this is leaning towards a situation where we're going to be talking about the Chicago Bears probably holding on to Luke Getsy after this season, even with all of the deficiencies and all of that. I get it. I'm here with it. I know there's people losing their minds in the comments, but it's going to be very tough to go out there and get a guy who feels like he's probably coming into a situation where, on the flip side of that, he's going to be fired if it doesn't work right away, if it doesn't work immediately. The timeline with Justin Fields is so much shorter, and I think if you go out and get a #1 overall quarterback, the pressure that's going to be on that guy to make that quarterback work, Caleb Williams, Drake May, whoever it is going to be immense. Are you going to get somebody that wants to sign themselves up for that situation where Matt Eberflus might be out the door if next year doesn't go continue to move in the right direction. Hey, let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. Do you think that it'll be a little tough for the Bears to move on from Luke Getsy, or are you still on the move on from Getsy train and we'll figure out the rest when we get there? I think here's my thing with all of that as well. When I talk about moving on from Getsy, I want to see Justin Fields still be here. I would like to see somebody that comes in and goes out and has already had success building with this kind of quarterback, has already had success going out and making things work with the style of quarterback that Justin Fields wants to be, right? That's why I would love to see a Jim Harbaugh come into here. I would love to see Greg Roman come into this. Now, Jim Harbaugh as a head coach, but I would love to see Greg Roman come into this situation and be able to work with Justin Fields, right? Those guys that are out there. I threw a name out there even. I don't know if everybody paid attention, but Alex Van Pelt out in Cleveland, the job that he has done with Kevin Stefanski with 4 different style quarterbacks and being able to get wins with each and every one of them. Very intriguing kind of prospect to me. I would love to see that guy be able to come in here and make something happen. But right, like I think a lot of the top candidates, right? Maybe an Eric Bieniemy still. I think I've said this a couple of times. I think Bieniemy's destined to be kind of that coordinator that's always a coordinator, and maybe he leaves the league because of that, but we've seen that a couple of times here, right? Like I think I always, for Vic Fangio, right, was a DC forever. They finally made him a head coach. He was horrible at it, and then he immediately became a DC again, right? Like some guys are just good at being a DC. Some guys are just good at being an OC. I think that Eric Bieniemy is still a really good name that could be thrown out there, but I think at the end of the day, the number one thing I want to see the Chicago Bears team do, no matter what happens, is please get the guy in place that you want in place before we get to the draft. Do not go into this draft without having an offensive coordinator in place. Do not go into this draft without having the guy that you believe is the guy in place. If that is going to be Luke Getsy, all right, he's already here. Yeah, maybe we change out the guy who's picking wide receivers because it seems like that's going to be a struggle. But I would love to see him continue to be, or whoever that guy is, continue to be in place before the draft, because you want to get pieces that fit what he's trying to call. You want to get pieces that fit how he's trying to build this offense. You want to get the quarterback, if you are drafting a quarterback, that he feels like he can work best with. The tough part about all of that is, though, are you pairing up guys as well? This is even going past this, right? Are you pairing up guys to where now you're drafting a quarterback and now you've got 1 year with Flus and maybe the win totals are the same, and then you look at it and you go, I don't know if this is the answer here. So you move on from Flus, and now you got a whole new regime coming in that has no idea why the heck you would pick this guy in the first place, and now they don't want to work with that quarterback. They want their guy. Like, there's so many things where it just recycles the same Bears cycles over and over and over again, and that's not what I want to see. So whatever you do, just have your guy in place. And I guess, right, kind of the interesting part of all of this is Ryan Poles going to give Matt Eberflus the time? Is this a Lovie Smith situation? Because listen, I don't think this defense is going to take steps backwards, right? So maybe this is a Matt Eberflus is in here. He's got to find the right offensive coordinator to work with his defensive system. He's got the defense moving really well. He talked yesterday kind of about calling plays and whether he was going to stay the play caller or not. He said he enjoys calling plays. It is a lot of work, but it is something that he actually enjoys doing, and he loves seeing the success from it. So maybe he'll sit there and still be the play caller heading into next season. I think that the part that's so tough about this is if you move on from the quarterback and you move on from the offensive coordinator, you're in a situation where now you got to get a new OC with a new quarterback. How long is all that going to take to mesh? If you move on from the quarterback and keep Luke Getsy, he's going out to get his guy. Is his guy going to be the right guy? I hate to tell you this. There's no Aaron Rodgers probably in this draft, unless maybe you could find one. Like maybe you're looking for a gem. But as much as, look, Drake May, Michael Penix, Caleb, whoever you want, there's no Aaron Rodgers. There's nobody that I look at and I'm just like, this guy, dominant pocket passer with the Bears offensive line. That's the other caveats you got to look at it. I get all the PFF numbers. PFF said that Nate Davis didn't give up a single pressure. My eyes would tell me that him spinning in a circle and the guy going past him would be counted as a pressure. So I think that you also have to talk about the kind of guy he wants with the kind of offensive line that we have. Are we going to see, and now you're hoping to improve that going into next season, but you can't guarantee that. How long is it going to take a rookie to develop into that? Are you going to have to deal with the growing pains of a rookie left tackle while dealing with the growing pains of a rookie quarterback and a rookie OC? There's so many situations here with the offensive coordinator to where, for me personally, keeping Justin Fields in there, you keep the veteran leadership, you keep the guy in the locker room that is moved in the right position. You go out, you get an OC, and I love how people are like, but then he's got to learn his third system in 3 years, and how's he going to be able to pick that up and all of, like, I've watched guys pick up a system in a year when the system fits them. I've watched guys pick up a system quickly when it's a system that accentuates the things that they do well. Right? Like, it's not like we have never seen that before. For some reason, we act like Justin Fields is dumb and just can't pick up football concepts, and he's not going to be able to go out there and implement concepts, when I think the bigger thing for me is the concepts that work for him, we don't use them often enough. Oh, well, it takes away, certain things about the game, but it works. He scores touchdowns. He puts up big points. He's able to get into the end zone. That's the thing for me that I want to see. And I just don't feel like we've accentuated that here. I think if you bring in an OC that did and that has focused on that, you would be able to see a little bit more growth from this team overall. But it might truly be the case where the best case scenario for the Chicago Bears is legitimately to just bring back everyone and continue to build this team. And it's going to be interesting heading into next season, seeing Luke Getsy still on the sideline, seeing Matt Eberflus still on the sideline, seeing Justin Fields there is my hope, but even seeing Justin Fields on that sideline, like, there's a lot of options here for Ryan Poles, and it doesn't feel like run it all the way back is the best case scenario for him. But hey, I do want to know how you guys feel, man. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. As always, it's your boy Pat, the designer, back at it again. To continue watching our Bears content, click the links on the screen, check the links in the description below. We'll be live for the daily show at 5 today, so tune in with us on that as well. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. Peace.